Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing the finale of Ahsoka, episode 8. Very fresh in my mind, and this is it, guys. This is the last review I'll have of the Ahsoka show. So in this episode, I'm going to review the episode and then give you my final review for the whole season. I don't know if we're going to get a season 2. It will have spoilers, so let's get right into this. So first of all, I actually really enjoyed it. I felt like this episode and the last one were very action-packed. I felt like this did feel like a finale for me in the sense that there's a lot going on. I do feel like the way it didn't feel like a finale was that there were a lot of unanswered questions, but it is season 1. I feel like they're setting up plot lines and plot threads for future seasons, other movies, other mediums. Star Wars is so big that there are multiple ways to tell the story, and I feel like this was just left kind of open-ended, whereas really in actuality you would want a lot of plot threads kind of wrapped up and stuff. I feel like I do that a lot with my books, where you just leave it open-ended and it creates this bingeability aspect to your books and your series. I feel like a lot of people here, it's been received pretty negatively for multiple reasons, and I feel like one of those reasons is people just don't like the idea of leaving things open-ended. They want answers and they want them now, as opposed to just being patient and waiting for when it's revealed in the movie or, another season or something like that. I also really enjoyed everything. I felt like Thrawn continues to be intimidating and his strategy was really good. I'm glad that he technically won and did get out to the main galaxy and that they were not able to stop him. I loved the fights in this. I felt like the Night Sisters awarding Morgan Elsbeth with Night Sister magic really fit. I feel like her character kind of earned it. I did feel sorry for her in the sense that she's been used this entire time, and it was sad that she died, but I felt like that was a good conclusion for her character. The choreography between her and Ahsoka and the fighting there was really good. I did also really love the Night Troopers, and we were correct in the sense that they are able to be resurrected. So that scene where a lot of us predicted that it was going to happen, where the heroes fight all the troopers and then they come back to life. It was a very epic, very eerie moment. It created a lot of problems, and I really liked it. It's interesting that Ezra gets back. I liked the reunion between him and Hera, but that Sabine, she made the right choice by going back for Ahsoka. And it would have sucked if Ahsoka was left back by herself. Although, if she did, I felt like her and Anakin could have had a conversation again, but that's beside the point. In the end, Sabine did make the harder choice and kind of let Ezra go. I felt like her using the Force, a lot of people are complaining, literally complaining and freaking out about this. So she did have training. Everyone's like, how dare she use the Force and not have any, hello guys, she has had training. She trained with Ahsoka for an unknown number of years before they had their split off. She's been training with Ahsoka off and on throughout this show, and I feel like her pulling the lightsaber to herself was well earned. I do see how they could have easily had Ezra push it to her, which could have worked in the scene as well. But I feel like her pulling the lightsaber to her was well earned. Luke did not have any training in episode when he was stuck, and it took him effort to pull the lightsaber to him when he was in the cave. So, it fits. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I did kind of have an issue with how she went from that to suddenly able to push a whole human when she threw Ezra across the ship. But I feel like, this could be a place where there's a lot of powerful Force-ish things here that could contribute to that. They were very desperate and in a lot of trouble. And it's kind of a trope when you have some magical thing going on inside you that it activates most when you're in kind of trouble. And that's not really how the Force works, but I don't hate it. I feel like it's kind of earned, and when you compare it to Rey, who was just able to do everything instantly, they're taking a step in the right direction by at least having her train. They've showed her making an effort and training and trying to force push so much and force pull everything so much throughout this series, so I feel like it was well earned. I loved Ezra creating his lightsaber, and I loved that they talked about Kanan. I was not expecting so much talk about Kanan. I was expecting them to just kind of forget that he existed, and I love Kanan, so I was sad about that, if that was going to be the case. So I love that they brought his character in by mentioning so much with him, and I felt like him using a piece from Kanan's lightsaber that Huyang had held back, things like his him talking about Kanan when he knew him as a child and stuff, and talking about the kind of Padawan that he was nice. And then the fact that Huyang kept a piece held back for him in case he needed it again was always like, that was so sweet. And then the fact that Ezra used that in his lightsaber, I loved it. It was very cool. It's nice to have Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka, especially Ezra and Ahsoka, fighting alongside each other. I felt like seeing that many Jedi on screen with lightsabers was really cool. I really, now that he's back, I hope that he trains Jason, Hera and Kanan's son. I hope that he also gets to meet Luke. I did wonder how he got off the ship so fast. A lot of people are saying because he was trapped on Thrawn's ship, and as soon as Thrawn gets back, they're headed to Dathomir, and he just randomly shows up with the Republic, and sees Hera and stuff. So how did he know where they were? Since it's been some time, and then how did he get away without Thrawn or somebody catching him? It's just, it seemed like a very Ezra thing to do because he was disguised as a trooper, but at the same time I had a lot of questions. So they also showed Baylan standing in front of a statue of the father, and the son was next to the father, so that was very cool to see that live action. Baylan, the father statue, was pointing at something off in the distance. We don't know what it was. I would have liked to have seen answers about what was calling to Baylan. And now that his actor, Ray Stevenson, is dead, I don't know how they're going to handle that side of the story. And then Shin shows up with the bandits, I think, and it's kind of implied she's going to take them over or slaughter them. I don't know. We're not sure. So again, it didn't answer a whole lot of our questions, and it seemed to be more of a season that sets something up as opposed to a season that could stand on its own, which is fine. You need both in certain cases, and like big series do that, where you have to set up plot lines and then it's answered the next season and all that stuff. But they do need to answer them at some point or another. So overall, this episode, I think I want to give it a 10 out of 10 just because when I was watching it, I had no problems. I was really enjoying it. It was only when I started to think about some of the unanswered questions that I was like, well, I don't like that. But it's setting things up, so I'm still going to give it a 10 out of 10 because I just really enjoyed it. It felt like Star Wars to me more so than Andor and some of the other shows that they've put out. I would like answers on all this, so I honestly didn't really have any complaints because the unanswered questions is not so much of a complaint as it is just something I'm looking forward to in the future. Obviously, Anakin's Force Ghost at the end, watching Ahsoka, that was the cherry on top for me. I really enjoyed it, and overall, I would give this series a 9 out of 10. It did have its issues. It did have some pacing issues. Episode 6 was slow for me. Episodes 1 and 2 were extremely slow. Boba Fett, it's even better than The Mandalorian, but it's definitely better than those shows. It's definitely better than Andor. It's the most Star Wars thing we've gotten from Disney, and I feel like it's the accumulation and the smooth combination of every Star Wars thing that has come before it. The prequels, the originals, the sequels, Clone Wars, and Rebels. I feel like the show blends everything perfectly, and nothing has been able to do that at all. So definitely kudos to them. Dave Filoni needs to be in charge. I hope that they do a season 2. I really enjoyed it, and anything to talk about it that was bad. I really enjoyed it as an episode, a finale, and a series. So what did you think of this episode and this finale of Ahsoka, and what did you think of the Ahsoka show as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, if you liked my review of this episode and this series, please give this video a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you liked my review of this finale episode, then please check out my review for the last episode, which was episode 7 of Ahsoka. You don't want to miss it. I had a lot of thoughts to share about that too.